Think of the last time you were completely sure you were right. Not hopeful, not pretty sure, flat out certain. You corrected someone right in the middle, maybe. You felt that clean, warm click of knowing. And then it turned out you were wrong. Not a little wrong, embarrassingly wrong. Here's the strange part worth sitting with. In that moment, you had zero warning. No small voice whispered, "Check yourself." The confidence felt exactly like being right. That's not a character flaw, it's a design feature. And it runs quietly in everyone, including you. Today we're pulling that feeling apart. Why the less someone knows, the surer they sound. And why the experts in the room go quiet. There's a name for this: Dunning-Kruger. It started with a strange bank robbery. A man robbed 2 banks in broad daylight. No mask, he smiled up at the cameras. Police arrested him within the hour. He was stunned, genuinely, honestly stunned. He'd rubbed lemon juice on his face. Lemon juice makes invisible ink, right? So he figured it'd make his face invisible. He wasn't drunk, he wasn't joking around. He was completely, sincerely sure of it. 2 researchers read that story and paused. Not to laugh, to ask a real question. What if that gap isn't rare at all? What if it's hiding inside all of us? So they ran tests: grammar, logic, humor. Afterward, they asked people to rate themselves. The ones who scored worst felt great. They guessed they'd done better than most people. Not slightly better, way above average. Here's the piece almost everyone gets wrong. This isn't about ego, it isn't arrogance. It's something quieter and much stranger. Think what it takes to spot a mistake. To know your grammar's off, you need grammar. To hear a wrong note, you need an ear. The skill that does the thing well is the same skill that judges the thing. So, when you lack it, you lose both. You can't do it and can't see that. The failure erases the evidence of itself. That's the trap. Sit with that one. Real incompetence doesn't feel like incompetence at all. It feels like confidence because nothing objects. The alarm that should ring was never installed. You've watched this happen, you just mislabeled it. A coworker who explains your own job to you, louder than anyone, wrong in every detail. The relative certain about a field they've never touched. One article deep, arguing with people who lived it. You rolled your eyes at them, fair enough, but slowly turn the camera around. There's a topic where you are that person. You just can't feel which one it is. That's not an insult, it's the whole point. The blind spot never announces itself. It feels like solid ground under your feet. Think of the last skill you picked up. Week 1, it seemed almost easy. People make a big deal out of this. Then week 5 hit like a wall. Suddenly you saw everything you'd been missing. You didn't get worse, you got sight. The subject didn't grow, your map did, and that map had been nearly empty. This is the part nobody tells you. Learning doesn't feel like climbing a smooth hill. It feels like falling off a cliff you missed. Early on, confidence is cheap and loud. You know just enough to feel finished. Then real knowledge shows up and humbles you. Your confidence drops hard right as you improve. Feeling dumber is often proof you're learning. Here's the line worth keeping for later. Confidence is loudest where knowledge is thinnest. Say that back to yourself sometime. The surer you feel with no effort at all, the more it's worth a quiet double check. Not to freeze, not to spiral into doubt, just to crack the door for a question, because the feeling of knowing is just a feeling. And feelings never verify themselves. For you, a wrong answer and a right one can feel completely identical from the inside. That's the quiet, unsettling heart of it. Now for the part I promised, the flip. You'd think experts feel unstoppable. They don't. Real experts tend to underrate themselves. And the reason is beautifully backwards. Once something's easy for you, you forget it was hard. So you assume everyone finds it easy too. You quietly shrink your own skill down. Anyone could do this, you think. They can't. You just can't feel the gap. So the beginner overrates, the expert underrates. Both are blind in opposite directions. And here's the reveal worth waiting for. The cure was never more confidence. It was never less confidence either. It's a specific, boring, powerful habit. Go get feedback from reality, on purpose. Not your gut, not your friends being kind. The test, the rejection, the number, the truth. Skilled people aren't born with a better alarm. They built one from years of being corrected. They flinched at the feedback and stayed anyway. That's the only door out of the blind spot. So here's the one thing to actually do. Next time you feel instantly, totally sure, treat that certainty as a question, not an answer. Ask quietly, how would I know if I'm wrong? If you can't answer that, you don't know yet. You only feel like you do. That single question is the whole skill. It's what the experts are quietly doing, slowing down just long enough to check. You won't erase the blind spot, nobody can. But you can learn to distrust the warm click. If this reframed something, subscribe. That's the whole idea. The goal was never to feel smart. It's to be a little harder to fool. Starting, quietly, with your own mind.